Hello and welcome to LimeWedgeLoej predicts the NFL playoffs. This is as you can see, the 2012 playoffs, and I will predict the whole playoffs from the wild card weekend onward. Right now, all I can be sure about the teams is with the wild card. So, you know, I'll do it next week if I mess up too bad. If I get every single pick right this week, then I might not do it next week and just get on here and gloat and, restate my picks unless I see something I really don't like and feel the great need to change it. Well, right now, I'm going to start with the AFC because I don't see this weekend's games being as great as in the NFC. In the AFC, I see the Bengals going into the Texans, and the Texans basically throwing them around. The Texans haven't been great when they've been playing pretty good teams lately, like the Colts and the Vikings. The Bengals, I don't rate quite up there yet, just because of their highly inconsistent play. The Texans will force the Bengals to play a game they don't want to play and cause enough turnovers to get the win. Then the Colts at the Ravens. It's a sad, sad sight when the once powerful AFC North is down to what seems like teams squeaking by into the playoffs. Right now, I'd pretty much say give me a random other team out of the AFC instead of the Bengals or the Ravens. They just are playing that badly. I might even say give me the Browns. Nah. Chargers maybe, but not the Browns. Anyway, the teams, I think they did deserve to get in just because of their record. But I digress. I think the Colts will beat the Ravens. I don't see Joe Flacco and the Ravens defense just having an absolute turnaround. I think the Colts proved today, well, today as in when they beat the Texans, that they are an elite team in the AFC, and they will win that game. So that's the 3 seed Texans and the 5 seed Colts advancing to the divisional round. In the NFC, I see the Vikings going into Lambeau, having a repeat performance today, except one late pick by Ponder. In the game where the Packers visited the Vikings, it was only a field goal difference that decided the game, and I believe that the home field advantage will hold true for the Packers, and that Lambeau Field will remain sacred for them for another year. Not that it would be, unsacred on the loss, but you get my point. I don't see the Vikings beating a team like the Packers 2 weeks in a row. Plus, as I showed before, both teams have excellent home records, not so great away records. So the Packers take that one, but the Vikings can hold their head up high because they got forked earlier in the season. If you're a fan of the fork, they go and fork teams that they think are out. Speaking of forked teams, we come to the Redskins. They stuck a fork in the Redskins when they were 3-6, but look at them now, 10-6. I can honestly say, after my Panthers beat the Redskins, I probably would have forked them too. And the way the Giants were playing, I thought there's no way the Giants won't win the NFC East. They probably will get a bye too. Look at how things change from weeks ago. But one thing that is the same is the Seahawks winning. I see the Seahawks going in and playing their mirror team, the Redskins. The only difference is Seattle has a better defense. It'll still be a fairly high-scoring game. I see the Seahawks beating the Redskins 27-21. I don't like, just throwing scores out there, but I'll make an exception. Russell Wilson and Marshawn Lynch will be a better combination than the two rookie starting quarterback running back combination for the Redskins. And so in both the NFC and the AFC, the 5 seed and the 3 seed advance. Then in the NFC divisional round, I'll stick with the NFC. It will be the 3 Packers at the 2 49ers. I'll put it blunt. The 49ers have played bad lately. They've played pretty bad. Even at Candlestick, they will not hold up to the Packers. I honestly don't even see this game being close. I think the Packers will just mop the floor with the 49ers. Then the Seahawks at the Falcons. Which bird brain team will win? Yes, that was a joke. No, that was not insulting. If you're insulted, then I feel sorry for you. But the Sea Turkeys at the Falcons. Matt Ryan, earlier in the season, I called him Matty Ice. I said, he's got ice in his veins. The Falcons can't lose. And then they lose to the Saints. And I say, okay. The Falcons played bad. Drew Brees, blah, blah, blah. Then the Falcons lose to the Panthers. Which, I mean, I love my Panthers. And my Panthers were streaking. We ended the season with a few game win streak. Like 3 or 4 games. And then the last game of the season pretty much told how the playoffs are going to be for the Falcons. They didn't rest their starters like a smart team would, and they had 2 injuries. And they still lost to the Buccaneers. Let me say that again. They didn't rest their starters, and they still lost to the Buccaneers. I know the division games are tough, but you're the number 1 overall seed, tied for the best record in the NFL. Lord have mercy, you can't do that, Falcons. The Falcons are a mess. The Seahawks are a very well-organized team at this point. The Seahawks will beat the number 1 seed Falcons and set up an NFC Championship game rematch from the Hail Mary pass, that is infamously dubbed the Fail Mary. So the Packers will have a chance to regain their honor after that egregious offense of a touchdown that gave the Seahawks a win earlier in the year, except this time they'll be playing in Lambeau Field instead of in Seattle. Now in the AFC divisional round, it's the 3 Texans at the 2 Patriots and the 5 Colts at the number 1 Broncos. Both of these games are rematches from earlier in the year, but unlike earlier in the year, these teams aren't the same. The Broncos are even better. The Patriots are even better. The Texans are even worse, and the Colts are even better. I'm going to start at what I see as a very uncompetitive game. I see New England having a repeat performance of their drubbing of Texas in Foxborough. Patriots ain't losing that game. So either the Patriots will face Peyton Manning in an infamous showdown, or they'll face their rival Colts. So, well, who's the winner, you might be asking? This is a close one. It's, in my opinion, the current best NFL quarterback, Peyton Manning, versus the next Peyton Manning, basically. What I see when I look at Andrew Luck is a young Peyton Manning. I think that Andrew Luck can be as good as, if not better, than Peyton Manning in the long run. Andrew Luck is going to be one of the best of all time, but he's not currently. That'll be the difference. As I keep saying, he's still a rookie, and Peyton Manning is not. So, I see the Broncos winning in Denver and eliminating the Colts. But this is by far an amazing season for the Colts either way. After the horrible last year when they got Luck number 1. 2 wins to a playoff win, that's pretty dang impressive. I say Coach of the Year should go to interim Indianapolis coach, or even Coach Chuck Pagano. I know I butchered how to pronounce his name, because they deserve to be co-Coach of the Year, in my opinion, based on what they did turning the team around and through all the adversity of their coach's sickness. But they proved that bringing their main coach back in the last week of the season is not hurting them one bit. Okay, on to the championship games. We have number 2 Patriots and number 1 Broncos, and number 5 Seahawks at number 3 Packers. Who will win it? First, I'm going to start with the NFC Championship game. It is the Packers, who have looked pretty good, versus the Seahawks, who have looked pretty good. Unlike their first meeting, I see this being a high-scoring affair. I see it back and forth. Russell Wilson shows us why he should have been the Rookie of the Year, which I don't think he will win, but he will say, look at me, I'm going to be good for a long time to come. But he's facing Aaron Rodgers and the Packers in Lambeau. Unfortunately, I don't think the Seahawks' miracle run holds up, and the rookie quarterback out of NC State/Wisconsin will come short in the championship game, but the Seahawks can hold their head high. After last year, this is a great improvement, and knowing they have a quarterback who can take them this far in the playoffs in their rookie year, now that says a lot about him. In the AFC Championship game with the Patriots at Broncos, this is a rematch. 2 of the best all time. 2 of the best in history. Manning trying to catch up in the number of Super Bowls versus Tom Brady, the golden boy, in what could be the last year for both quarterbacks. If they get injured, I honestly think we'll see them both for at least another 3 years, but still. This could be the last time we see them in this situation. This could be the last great Manning versus Brady showdown in the playoffs. And it will be a true quarterback duel. I see the scores 38-35 Broncos over the Patriots. The home field advantage gives it to Denver, and the fact Denver's defense can make more plays than New England's defense, so they will advance. And now for the moment you've all been waiting for, the Super Bowl. It is the 3 seed out of the NFC, the Green Bay Packers, versus the 1 seed out of the AFC, the Denver Broncos. In New Orleans in the Superdome for the Lombardi Trophy. This is what it's all about. This is the great prize, Super Bowl XLVII. Everybody will be tuning in, millions of people, lots of people who don't even like football. Some people just for the halftime show, some people for the commercials. But we all know why we're going to be there. We're going to be there to see 2 of the great quarterbacks dueling it out. Peyton Manning of the Denver Broncos, Aaron Rodgers of the Green Bay Packers. Both will be looking to cement their legacy with another Super Bowl ring. But this is not the year if you're a Packers fan. This is the year for the Broncos. All the people who were chanting Tebow, Tebow, wondering why they would get rid of Tebow when they promised to keep him. All of those people are now silent. Well, silent as if you're screaming, we just won the Super Bowl, was silent. Because the Broncos and Peyton Manning will be able to edge out the Packers. The Packers' defense has been injured all year, and that will give the edge to the Broncos. Their defense will be able to make one more play, just one more, as it has been the whole playoffs. One more play against the Patriots, one more play against the Colts. And that one play on the defense justifies all Peyton Manning's work, justifies him coming back from the injury, justifies him going to Denver. Everything makes sense. Justifies John Elway letting Tebow go and bringing in Peyton Manning because the Denver Broncos are the Super Bowl champion. I thank you for watching this video, and I hope you thoroughly enjoyed it, because I enjoyed making it, because I love talking football. If you agree with my predictions, give me a like. If you disagree, you can either dislike or you can comment with your opinion. And if you want to just tell me I'm stupid, well, that's fine too. Because everyone has an opinion, and just because your opinion of me is that I'm stupid for my football opinions, well, that's your opinion. Ha 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 ha. But this is LimeWedgeLoej telling you to stay happy, folks, and watch the NFL playoffs on whatever channel they come on this year. Because, it varies from time to time. So, yeah, hopefully you'll enjoy this, and if you don't, I don't know why you've been watching the 16.5-minute video. So, thank you, and good night, America and the world.